Welcome back, everybody. Today is day 17 of our health accountability journey. I'm the accountability doc, and I'm trying to get you healthier by holding you accountable for your health. Today, I want to talk about how to actually start changing your diet and eating enough fiber. I've been on this fiber journey by pushing everybody to get enough fiber. If you're new to this channel, 95% of Americans don't get enough of their fiber. Women need 25 grams of fiber a day, men 38. And a lot of people don't get that number because it is hard. So I'm here to hold you guys accountable to change that habit starting today. Or if you've already been on this journey, we've been on it for day 17. I want you guys to reach day 30 and see what has changed in your body. Hopefully you'll notice less bloating, more energy, better sleep, better skin, better mental clarity. All of these benefits come from just changing your diet and eating more fiber. So let's talk a little bit more about how to actually do that. I know I talk a lot about the numbers like 25 and 38, but today I want to set you guys up with a plan, something that is actually actionable that you can follow through and give you some tips along the way to help you start or continue your fiber journey. So the whole idea is to start slow, hydrate often, drink a lot of water, and then prioritize whole foods rather than processed foods. So for me, getting my goal each day it's not easy. I like to split it up and break it into smaller goals. For me, my goal is to get 38 grams of fiber a day. But to keep it simple, let's just round it up and say 40 grams of fiber a day. So what I'll do is I break it up into 3 parts, 10 for breakfast, 10 for lunch, and 10 for dinner, with another 10 towards the evening or throughout the day with snacks and fiber supplements. It's too hard if you want to skip breakfast and then try and do 20 or 30 grams of fiber for lunch. It's just too much and it puts too much pressure for you to reach such a big number. I think it's easier if you just break it up into smaller goals throughout the day. So let's start with breakfast. Let's say you have just half a cup of cooked oatmeal and then half a cup of raspberries in that oatmeal and throw in just 1 teaspoon of chia seeds. All in all, that's already like 12 grams of fiber. That's your morning check mark. Done. For lunch, let's say you want to have something with a protein, a carb, and some veggies. If you have grilled chicken, for example, with some carrots, broccoli, spinach, an avocado, or beans, or lentils, if you just have 1 cup worth of veggies, that usually adds up to about 10 grams of fiber. So just make sure you get a little bit of veggies, something green, something colorful, and get a cup's worth. Then for dinner, let's say you have the same thing, a protein, a carb, and some veggies. Throw in 1 more cup of some vegetable. You'll probably get another 10 grams. We're talking anything here, whatever you like, whatever you're in the mood for, whatever fits into that dinner or that meal. Let's say peas, broccoli, sweet potato, a mixed salad or greens of some sort, squash, asparagus, the list goes on and on. Eat what you like because then you're more likely to fit your fiber goal. And then finally, if you snack on a piece of fruit like a banana or an apple, or maybe something like nuts or almonds throughout the day, and then just add it all up, you might get an extra 3-5 grams of fiber. And then if you don't get enough, top it all off with a little bit of Metamucil or fiber gummies. And then you hit your goal. That's how my diet adds up with the supplements to be over 40 grams a day. Now, some days are harder and some days are easier. When I feel a little lazy and cheat by eating something that's processed like a burger, I usually don't get enough fiber for that meal. And then I have to try and make it up by adding more with snacking or supplements or through my other meals. And so that's okay. We're not perfect. We all make mistakes, but we're trying our best to be consistent. We're also trying to be cognizant of what we're eating. So sometimes it's okay to have that burger. Sometimes it's okay to have those chips or whatever you like. But Just remember to try and make it up by doing something else good for your body. Here are also 4 tips to help you do it the right way. Again, we want to start low and slow. So if you're just starting off and you're currently eating, let's say 10 grams of fiber, do not jump to 30 or 40 grams of fiber the next day. Your gut bacteria needs time to handle that change and all that new fiber and that workload. So for example, let's start off with the first week. Add 5 grams of fiber for that first week. And then that second week, add another 5 grams. Let's say change your lunch meal and add more beans. Remember, when you add too much too quickly, you're going to have more bloating and potentially more constipation. So start slow. Tip number 2, water. You gotta drink water. Fiber is like a sponge. If there's no water, it turns into like a brick into your gut and you gotta poop that out. Even if you get enough fiber, you're gonna have constipation and bloating if you do not drink enough water. So for every high fiber meal, drink a glass of water. If you feel stuck, for example, or if you notice bloating or more constipation, that means you're not getting enough water. Drink more water. Tip number 3, prioritize whole foods over processed foods. Yes, there are a lot of fiber-enriched foods out there, like fiber-rich brownies or fiber bars, and drinks out there like Olipop. They often have inulin or chicory root fiber. Technically, it is a fiber, but inulin is fermented very rapidly by your gut bacteria and sometimes can cause more gas and cramping for some people. Yes, I know Olipop has a good amount of fiber and you can easily drink it, but don't get all your fiber from drinking 3 Olipops in a day. It's not the same as eating a good diet filled with whole foods, fruits, vegetables, and grains. Think about it. Are we meant to drink 3 Olipops versus eating apples, bananas, fruits, avocados, whole grains? Do you think your body is conditioned to do that? No. So choose whole over processed. Yes, I know they have fiber, but the fiber is not the same. Make that smart call and prioritize something that's real. And then finally, tip number 4, chew your food. So digestion starts in your mouth. Fiber-rich foods require chewing, and they need those salivary enzymes to break things down. All that chewing will help your stomach prepare for the incoming load because you've already started the digestive process. It reduces the risk of getting further bloating in your stomach, especially if you just scarf down that food without a lot of chewing. So there you have it, how to actually change your diet and start getting enough fiber. Remember, it's very helpful to just break it up into small goals throughout the day. If you can achieve those small goals, then you're likely to achieve that final goal if you just add all those mini goals up. Remember, it's simple for me to just do 10, 10, 10, 10. However you want to break that apart. Yes, some days you might not make it. Some days it's harder than others, but we're just being cognizant and trying to make better choices so our body will benefit. Today is day 17. If you made it this far, congratulations. I hope that you've noticed some changes to your body for the better, because I have. Again, I have been noticing a lot more energy, good sleep, and better immunity. I've talked about this in my previous episodes, so if you haven't checked that out, give it a listen. If you like this video today, give it a like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions or if you have anything that you want to share about your health journey. Remember, we're doing this together. We're doing this for our future selves. We're doing this to get healthy. Thank you for joining me on my journey. We'll see you guys tomorrow.